Tal Kadosh Boker Or Mishna Yomi Masechet Baba Batra Perek Yod chapter 10 Mishnah Aleph and Bet Get Pashut Edav Mitocho. Right, so we're talking about now a get pashut. Remember, we're talking about a simple document. It's not only just a get, but any type of a document, which is a simple document. The witnesses are inside the document on the bottom. That's where it's signed. Kushar, but if it's going to be a get mekushar, edam mechorav. So if it's going to be a tied document, so then it's going to be behind it. So we have the picture over there. If you remember, when you have the folds, so it's going to be behind the folds. Okay, pashut shekatvu edav mechorav. When you have a simple document that its witnesses are signed on the back, right? Or you have a mekushar that it's written in the front. That means the signatures are signed in the front. Shneim psulim. Both of them are going to be pasul. Rabbi Gamliel says, mekushar shekatvu edav mitocho kasher. If you have a tied document with its witnesses signed on its front, it's going to be valid. Why? Because you can make it into a pashut. Rashba Gomer, Rabbi Gamliel comes and he says, hakol keminhag hamedina. Everything is going to be a minhag hamedina. Everything is going to be like the minhag of the Medina. Okay? Mishnah Bet. Get Pashut Edav Bishnaim. When you have a get Pashut, you have two witnesses. Mekushar, you need three witnesses. Pashut Shekatuv Bo Echad. If you have a regular document and they only signed one, or a get Mekushar that you signed two, Shneim Psulim. Both of them are going to be invalid. Okay? Katav Bo Zuzin Me'ah Dinun Sil'in Esrim. What happens if you have a contradiction? It's written 100 zuz, which is 20 slaim. Okay? En lo ela esrim. So he comes and he says the document holder only has a 20, meaning it's a contradiction, but it's really 25. It's like saying it's $100, right? And $100 and five, like the 5 quarters, meaning it's going to be 25 instead of 20. So there's a stira. You go after the 20, which is the last thing that you just said. Zuzim yadinun tlatin saying. If you said 100 zuz, which is 30, and then we know it's 25. He only has 100. Right? That means he has a lower hand. Kesef zuzim dinun v'nimchak. What happens if you have silver zuzim in the mountains and then it was erased? You don't know how much it is. So it's not going to be less than 2 because the minimum is always going to be 2. Okay? Kesef silin dinun v'nimchak and pachom mishlam. Again, it's going to be 2. Talkonot dinun v'nimchak. Talkonot is going to be 2. Always, again, minimum is going to be 2. Katubo milmala meneu malmata matayim. What happens if the top it's written 100 and the bottom it's written 200? Or the opposite. On the top it's written 100, 200 and the bottom it's written 100. You go after the last one. That means basically, by the way, you should know the same thing happens in a check. In a check, if you have a stira between the numbers and what's written out, you go by what's written out because that's the amount that you go by, not the numbers. Okay, so here the same thing. Here you have a top and bottom instead of numerations and the words. Okay, imken. So ask the Gemara, lama kotvin et elyon. Why do you have the top part? He says, if the bottom one letter is erased, learn from the top one. Okay?